A disagreement may arise, but a fight must not arise. Meanwhile, the fact that you are passionate and logical does not even mean you're right. And back in the day, your girl used to, I was going to say move mad a bit, but I don't move mad in the name of the Lord. Amen. Hi, my name is Toji Oluwatoyinbo, and I'm the marriage and relationship coach you did not know you needed until you watched this video. Today, I want to tell you 5 ways to fight fair with your spouse. 5 ways to fight fair with your spouse. All right, let's go. Number 1, you must believe, you must have the mindset that a disagreement may arise, but it does not have to degenerate into a fight. A disagreement may arise, but a fight must not arise. So there's no need for a showdown, there's no need for an outburst, there's no need for what we call gbasgbos in Nigeria, right? You don't do that at work. When your boss is upset with you, when they're giving you a timeline and you haven't met the timeline and they're giving consequences or reprimanding you, you don't throw the documents in your boss's face and walk out the door. So why are you going to sleep in hotel for 3 days? Because you and your husband have had a disagreement, or you and your wife, as the case may be, have had a disagreement, right? If you got a call from your child's school saying your child is in the principal's office because your child had an outburst in class and, maybe broke something, broke the projector, broke somebody's head, hopefully not, right? You would be upset, you would be livid, you would expect that your child should know better because you have trained him or her better. And so why is there this outburst in your home? Why do you feel you must raise your voice, you must shout, something must break, neighbors must hear, so that your spouse will know how deep the matter is, right? It doesn't have to come to that. I think what is important is to find ways to deal with a conflict. I think people who shout, fight, throw things about, is because they don't know the strategies, the mechanics of how to resolve conflicts. You know how it is that when you've read for exams, when what we call in Nigeria, you've jacked, you are confident. You're the type of person that will now go and sit in front of the exam hall, see no evil, no evil. You're sitting and everybody's calling you, Tomiwa now, and you're doing like you can't hear anybody. Because you're very confident about what you have read, and you're answering your questions in record time, you're sleeping before the paper is over, maybe you're even asking for extra sheets. You're not jittery, you're not looking for who to do Voltron with, who to dub from, who to copy from. You're not blanking out because you are confident. You know how. So knowing how makes things easier. So if you knew how to communicate effectively, how to resolve conflicts effectively, it wouldn't have to degenerate to that. I think it was my husband who first taught me that you can't fight with someone who's not fighting with you. And back in the day, your girl used to, I was going to say move mad a bit, but I don't move mad in the name of the Lord. Amen. Right? I could be a bit touchy. I was very emotional. And because they say women have a lot of words, I had a lot of words to share as well. And my, boyfriend at the time was very calm. Answer me one, reply. And me, I'll be, gyrating. I'm losing too many Nigerian terms. Pardon me. I'll be getting angry. And he would respond and answer. And then again, I realized that really and truly, I'm looking like the mad person here. Because someone is trying to reason with me, give me wisdom, understanding, perspective, let me know how he's feeling. And I'm going off tangent. And then I started to realize that I could have a discussion, even though we had differing opinions. I could have a discussion and not a fight. It was the first time I was experiencing it. I felt he needed to know that I was angry so that he will... It's not easy to catch fine babe, so let everybody be in order. But no, that was just chipping at the fabric of our relationship. All right, so it's important that you don't allow things to degenerate. You must know that it's your responsibility to groom yourself, work on yourself. Your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend can give you a seed, an olive branch, teach you a few things there, but you must take up that personal responsibility to work on yourself. Again, my husband would always say, increase the intelligence of your argument, not the sound of your voice. So your shouting is not helping us, but bring your strong point, your strong reason, and let's talk about it together and not against each other. All right? That's number 1. Number 2, in fighting, and I use fight in quotes because it doesn't have to be a fight, all right? In resolving conflict with your spouse, and this one might sound a bit tricky, but follow me through. listen, please. Don't always desire to play to your strengths when you're trying to resolve a conflict. And I know that kind of sounds against the grain because we're always told to play to our strengths. Put your best foot forward. Let your strengths shine forth. Even if it's in business, you're bringing your business acumen, your relationships, and all your skills. Your strengths are supposed to be the good things about you, right? But in a sensitive situation, as trying to resolve something with your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your fiance, who is different from you, mind you, you don't always want to fully play in that field. Let me explain this way. I usually say in relationships that the thing that attracts you to your spouse can also be the thing that distracts you from your spouse, or your point of attention can also be your point of contention. So here you are, you're with this guy or with this babe because he or she is very friendly, very outgoing, very, easy to talk to, very approachable, right? What the other people will call free-spirited, okay? But if you bring that into an argument and maybe your wife is trying to tell you how she's feeling, the pain she's feeling, and you in your free-spirited, sanguine nature, babe, no, sorry, now, it's not that deep now, nothing to you now, okay, I've heard. That is you in general. And she might like that part of you in the context of being approachable and easy to deal with. But in this context, it doesn't work. That might get you business relationships, friendships, deals, etc. But in this context, it doesn't work because she will feel that what is big to her is being played down by you. Okay? You might be that person who feels you're a very passionate and feisty person, like Femi Falana not do pass to you. Like you are so logical, you know how to bring this and this and this and, give KO, finishing move, right? And you're able to arrange all your points and make perfect sense. You are very organized and logical. Again, in another context, that could be a very good leadership strength. But when you're trying to resolve something and your spouse, your partner, male or female, is trying to explain something to you, you owe it to them to listen, to hear them out, and don't just come with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, black or white. Let me tell you what also happens in that situation. Your partner begins to lose their voice. They might begin to lose their confidence. They might begin to not desire to be vulnerable with you. They might become afraid. They might feel manipulated. They might feel gaslighted, right? And so you can't get much of them if you continue like that. You become a dictator and you have a subject and not a partner. So you don't want to do that. Meanwhile, the fact that you are passionate and logical does not even mean you're right. All right. So you want to ensure that you are listening for feedback. A very simple technique to use is if your spouse is telling you something, when they have finished, you want to, give them feedback of what you have heard. So, babe, are you saying that ABC equals to XYZ? When you said 1, 2, 3, did you mean 5, 6, 7? Or did you mean 8, 9, 10? So when you do this, your spouse knows you were actually listening, you have good intentions, and if there's anything to correct in that moment, it's corrected, as opposed to you just running up with your own intelligent idea in your head and giving them a comeback. You want to be sure that you're not always playing to your strengths. All right? Number 3, this one. The moment your spouse or your boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance, is trying to share a moment of pain or hurt or something they believe you haven't done well, dear, that is not the time for you to bring your own tone. That is not the time for you to say, but you 2 weeks ago, is it because I did not say? Dear, you did not say. You did not say. So why not hold your peace at this point and hear my peace? Okay? And I'm not saying you can never, ever, ever, ever bring up something. But number 1, let them finish their point. Let them get across what they are trying to pass across. You need to acknowledge what you have done. Don't just wave it over as, okay, because you have done your own 2 weeks ago, so Jero cancel. How do I translate that into English? So it's now equal. I've done, you've done, so 50-50. Can we just move on? No. The fact that you didn't tell me means I didn't even know I did something, or means I didn't know it was a thing for you. Because really and truly, for example, my husband, there's some things I may do that he's not bothered about. But if he does them to me, I might be bothered. Okay, so there's some things I might be able to take that he might not be able to take, and the things he might be able to take, I might not be able to take. So don't assume, express. If you didn't like something, say something. Allow your spouse express themselves. Don't take away, don't compare pains. Don't take the moment and then make them feel like they are the ones that have now offended. And so they feel because they have a stack that they didn't even know existed, they now can't talk and their hands are now tied. That's double pain. That's double jeopardy, because I came to you with a situation that you had hurt me, and now you have hurt me, and now I'm hurt because you're telling me I had hurt you. It's not fair. All right? Number 4, do your best not to go below the belt. Do your best not to open up a can of worms. You know, I could go on and give different analogies, but I usually say, you really can't control your emotions. You can. Your emotions are not in charge of your life as much as you've given them credit for. They're not. So simple example, I say, I'm tired, I don't want to do anything. I want to be a couch potato today. I've worked too hard. I'm stressed. Nigeria is like this, Nigeria is like that. You are tired. And then you hear fire, 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 fire. Are you going to be tired? No, you're going to run. If you watched any of those videos, or maybe documentary, or even with animals, Nat Geo Wild or something, a mother sees her child about to be run over by a car, and she runs in front of that car and tries to hold it. I've seen the one where the woman lifts up a truck that has ridden over her child. Where did that strength come from? That adrenaline rush, that thing that says, I will not cast my young. That thing that says, my child will not die. The father instinct, the mother instinct, the parent in you just rises up. And you would rather take the fire, take the heat, take the run over, whatever, but not my child. But when it comes to our relationships, and maybe other things in your life, you get very sentimental. You're not in charge. And listen, your brain, your mind, they learn from you. The more you tell your mind that the way to settle an argument is to hit below the belt, is to fight, is to raise your voice, is to take your car keys and drive away for 3 days, the next time a situation arises, your mind will in default setting, go to that mode and be like, yeah, this is what we do when we're upset. It's like people that, what they call that thing, when you eat, when you're upset or something, you're craving something and you just eat, I've forgotten the English. Anyways, you just eat because you are bored or because you're upset. No. Every time you are bored or upset, even when you're not bored or upset, your mind says go and eat. But sometimes you're not hungry, you're thirsty. Sometimes you're not hungry, you need to exercise and get your hormones and endorphins pumping. All right? So don't go below the belt. That's not the point to now say, it's not because I've been managing you since you cheated. I shouldn't be with you. It's just because of God and your parents. That's not the time to now start saying, but look at you, I've been with you for 7 years. What have you done in my life? I can't see Haba. Don't go below the belt, because sometimes there's no coming back. And you might not have meant it. You might say you'll say sorry tomorrow, but sometimes there's no coming back. You do you like Nollywood movie where you just come back and you see that the closet is empty. God forbid. Finally, and I think this is a general context that everybody should have, don't make your spouse the problem. Let the problem be the problem. Like one of my clients will say, it's not you versus me, it's us versus the problem. Okay? So you need to focus on the issue and don't focus on the person. When you start seeing your spouse as you are the cause of the problem, you are the wicked one, you are the mean one, you are the heartless one, as opposed to this situation made me feel XYZ way. I feel because you did this, I now feel this way. I feel we need to address our timing situation. We need to address our tone situation. We need to address our communication, our intimacy situation, as opposed to you are the reason we are not having enough sex in this marriage. When we stop focusing on the person and start focusing on the problem, we are more prone to find solutions. The more you focus on the person, the farther away you are from the solution. Because every time you see your husband and your wife walking back, you are seeing the reason we are not having sex. You are seeing the reason I feel heartbroken. Oh, this woman walking is the reason I'm losing money. This man walking is the reason my children are not going to better schools. please, let's focus on the focus. Let's focus on the situation and not the problem so that we find solutions. I hope this is helpful. Let me know what you think. Share your thoughts in the comments. If you have a contrary opinion, I'd like to read them. There's a link on the screen right now. Follow me on social media platforms, on Instagram, on YouTube, everywhere else you can. I'd like to connect with you. There's also a link to book sessions with me, premarital sessions, postmarital sessions, breakup detox, infidelity recovery, all sorts. You'll find it there. I can't wait to connect with you. I hope you learned a thing or two. I'll see you in some other video.